Hello and welcome back to the Opener Sorcery. It's Devi, and today we are going to be covering the pages in the Minor Arcana. So, I know I've gone over some of the Minor Arcana with 1 through 10 of each of the suits, but we are going to be covering this in the Faces series, or I think just Faces is probably a better way to put it. In each of them. So we're going to be covering the pages first. Now, the pages are a younger energy. This is something where it is kind of childlike. But think more along the lines of between like ages 8 to 13. You're figuring out the world around you. There is exploration to be had. The personality has already started to develop, and they are their own person. They're not necessarily just clinging on to mother's skirts any longer. They are their own person and their own personality and everything of that nature. But they're learning and they're growing in all of these wonderful ways. And so these are the initiation of energies. These are the beginning of things happening. So we're going to start with the cups, just because I am a water sign, and I am going to start with the cups because I want to. So the cups, of course, are emotional, right? And the Page of Cups is no different. Think of this as somebody starting to gain some emotional maturity. Like they are wise beyond their years, in a sense. But they still have this sweet innocence about them. Which is, it's quite intoxicating, honestly. And it's so wonderful to see in people. But the Page of Cups, this is a really happy sign. This is presence from the universe, in a sense. Not necessarily in a fully tangible way, but in a interpersonal way. It is huge. It can be indications of engagements and marriages. It can even be indications of pregnancies. It brings such emotionally satisfying things with it. And it tells us to enjoy the moment. We are living in this moment right now, and we are happy and we are acting and we are in the flow. And so we are not necessarily stopping to think like, oh, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? I feel it. I'm going to go with it. This is correct. The Page of Cups is absolutely in the moment, feeling the flow and going with it. The next one is the Page of Wands. So the Wands is all about excitement and adventure, but this is in a different way. So while the cups are emotional and very satisfying and very interpersonal, the Wands is more so about initiation in terms of action. And here, think about it as new adventures, new travels, new passion projects. It can be interpersonally complicated when you see a Page of Wands in terms of like a relationship or anything like that. That may mean it's a short-lived thing. Candles cannot burn eternally. Excitement doesn't last forever. Or you could just be on that new route. Because sometimes you get the spark back, and sometimes that spark back is hot, which is great. But the Wands is all about that fire, that thrill, that ability to capture those moments and live to the fullest. I'm going to go and be on that roller coaster because I want to go be on that roller coaster. I'm going to go experience something brand new because I want to experience something brand new. I'm not necessarily going to be tied down because of somebody else. I'm not necessarily going to stop myself from experiencing life because of X, Y, or Z. It is very here and now, and the opportunity exists, and I'm going to jump on it. It can very much be good news, absolutely good news, but it can also indicate that it is short-lived. Like I said, a fire doesn't necessarily burn forever. It eventually burns out. So whenever you see the Page of Wands, do keep in mind, not everything lasts forever. But just because it doesn't last forever doesn't mean it's not beautiful in the moments that it's there. It is worth being experienced. It is worth doing just to say that you did it. And there's nothing wrong with that. So the Swords makes me a little sad. The Page of Swords makes me a little sad because that one is not necessarily an indication of good omen or good news. It's an indication of wait. Be patient. Pause. You're going over things over and over and over again in your mind. Very justice-centered is the Page of Swords. This person, this energy is very much, here are the rules, and here is the bounds in which I exist. They're not necessarily going to go outside of the box that they believe that they are in. They are not as fluid, and they are not as fiery. But they are going to think instead of rushing into action. They are going to contemplate. They are going to take a problem and turn it over in their mind over and over and over again. Patience is their virtue. And the thoughts have to be fully explored, fully integrated before an action can be taken. It's not a bad thing, but it can be frustrating. When you see that Page of Swords, just think of it as being given a problem, and you don't necessarily have the answer to it as of yet, but you cannot act until you do have an answer. Now, the Page of Swords can also be indicative of you are too much in this realm. You are not necessarily giving yourself to spirituality as much as you need to. So do take balance into consideration. The Page is the initiator. This is the start. This is the beginning. And if we recognize that maybe we are too far into the physical, too far into the mental realms, instead of allowing our expansion into spirituality and the divine, then maybe we can find a happy balance in seeing that we are too far one way or the other. But that is for the contemplation of that Page of Swords. Seeing how things happen, seeing how things play out, studying the charts, studying the patterns. Being able to actually see things as they are, see the truth behind the words. The Page of Swords has a beautiful ability to see. They may not necessarily recognize it at first, just like we don't necessarily learn to recognize it. But they hear it. They read it. And they turn it over in their mind, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. Something is not right here. Something is not correct. Something is not even or equal. And they seek to see what it is. And it does seem like more of a obsession, but I think of it more like a brain thorn. It's a thorn that is stuck in the forefront of their minds. And in order to get past it, they have to figure out what that thorn is to begin with. Now, the last one, certainly not the least, is the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is all about long-term successes. This is doing the work now to reap the rewards later. it is the kind of person and the kind of energy that is, all right, what is our list for today so that we can have the harvest next year? What groundwork can we do for ourselves now that we may benefit from later? It is the kind of person that is a leader, very much so a leader, because they are going to take a lot of things into consideration. This may be one of those people that is like, okay, even in middle school or junior high, they are paying attention to their grades because they're thinking, all right, what do I need for college? What do I need for a full ride scholarship? What do I need to succeed in my life? And it seems like a very serious energy, but in a sense, it's really not. It is a more productive one. It is a more outwardly showing one. Everything in the Page of Pentacles is going to be tangibly able to be seen. It is tangible. It is right in front of us. You can see it. You can touch it. You can feel it. And because of that, it feeds them more and more and more like fertile ground. Just like education feeds a career, feeds a legacy. They have big dreams and aspirations, and they know exactly what step they're going to take to get there. They are incredibly ambitious, which is beautiful. The funny thing is, this one also can be an indication of pregnancy. If you think about it, seed in the ground and all of that. The initiation, the beginning, something happening. But this one's a little bit more than that too. Because it sees the world as it is right in front of them. It's not stuck in a contemplation loop like the swords. It is not fully a ready, set, go like the wands or potentially even the cups are. It is more all right, I exist in this world. What can I do to make sure that I am succeeding no matter what? Which is a very big and very mature energy for pages, which oftentimes they are indicating more childlike energy. An apprentice. Someone either being a child or having a childlike aura about them. Maybe even a childlike innocence. So all of this to say, the pentacles, they're interesting. Because it is like a wise old man sitting in the body of a 13-year-old and telling somebody exactly how they are going to succeed for their whole life, knowing the plan that is about right in front of them, and being able to take steps towards that. Old souls. I love me some old souls. But the pages, they're kids. And you can see these types of children all around. You can see the serious ones. The ones that have to turn everything over in their minds so much. The ones that are the emotional absorbers of their friend group. The ones that are the initiators for everything. And they're going to jump on everything like an excited puppy. We see the planners. This is the page energy. And it is wonderful. And it is necessary. But this was Devi on the Open Sorcery going over the pages of the Minor Arcana in the Tarot. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.